going on? What's going on, relative? Oi, 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 oi. G, 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 G. Oh. What's going on, relatives? What's going on? Put some back music on. Eat, 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 eat. Deep, deep, deep. Good morning, Helen. Let's see.
Optical.
Oh, taking some pills today. Pill chasing today. Let me turn on my, what's that light called? My vanity light, so it gets some good lighting on me. So I look all shiny and stuff. What's today? Friday. Got a little bit of sleep last night. Not a lot, but got a little bit of rested sleep. I got old man pill box now. Reminds me to take my pills. So I take these ones. For some reason, those are the things that are keeping me alive now. I get jars of these. Those were my daily meds. These ones are for my pain. My pain management. These ones help a little bit, but man, I feel sorry for the people that have had to do this all their life. This is the first time I'm taking pills like as an average thing for part of my health. So trying to keep those things going because I think that's like the secret. We need to get into that dang, what do you call that? We need to get into these medicines. We need to be getting into this caretaking and stuff. It's very expensive, but at the same time, I can feel how rewarding it is. Especially like right now when we have a lot of the residential school pupils, all the people that are old that are still going to have to go through the negativity of boarding schools. They still have to go through, even if they're old. I don't care how old they are, 60, 70, 80 years old. They still have trauma upside, and they're going to have to deal with it. So I feel sad for our people because we're made to feel tough. I'm tough. I can do this. Watch me eat rocks. Yeah. This is a toughness that you can't You can't bite it. You can't beat it up. This is a toughness that has to come from inside because when they take something from you, especially your children, it's it hurts. That's the only one. That's the only way I could say it. And witnessing all of these schools, we haven't even got to America yet. We haven't even got to America. We're still in the Canadian side, and they're not gonna do nothing. You know, they're just gonna say. I don't even think they're gonna say I'm sorry. To be honest with you, I'm dead ass serious. So it's hard to understand what the where we're gonna go from here. Because the more that I recognize that a lot of like the way that we live is the stuff that's killing us. Um, make too much money, you get lazy, you forget how to sing your songs, you don't even know. Then you have to ask somebody else to do these things for you. I don't want to get to that point ever, but I'm already at that point because of residential schools. I'm already at that point because the the damage has already been done to me, to my family. So these are hard things that we're gonna have to recognize as anyone, whether you're dealing with the trauma or not. It's still part of America. It's still part of this way that this was built. I don't separate Canada and the United States. To me, it's all the same. You know, it's all the same trash. So when people are talking about this or that or hey, America's this, or at least Canada, nah, they're all the same. They're all it's all the same. So this is hard for me to conceptually understand because I've already been through um let's see, like what is that called when you get molested by a priest? I already got that. And for some of you guys that don't know, even down in South Florida, look up this guy. His name was Earl Boyette. He was a priest down in South Florida for a long time. I promise you that he molested some of them kids down there. I know it. I know it in my fucking heart. I know it because when he tried to touch my cock, you know, like all he was doing was, oh, you don't touch, you won't let me touch you, then I'll just touch another little boy. Damn, that's fucked up on the res. Let me tell you what, growing up like that. And this is the real. This is the realness. This isn't fake. I don't. I don't have no reason to talk about these things because that guy's in prison right now, serving like 200 years. So these are all different things that it brings up within myself about residential schools, within what we're going through. And we haven't even started digging up our children yet here in the United States. We're not even part of that yet. So I don't know what the leaders are going to say about all that stuff. Oh, I'm sorry that our ancestors, my great grandmothers, killed yours. And we just buried them outside the school where we promised to give you shelter and give you a new way of life that you were missing. You know, these are pretty sad facts, and our people, we don't really care about it. I mean, we care about it if it's beneficial to us. But right now, you know, you're gonna have to look in your grandma's eyes. Only your grandma and grandpa is gonna know that, and if they're dead, then you're fucked. It's too late. You're already too fucked. You didn't ask them the right questions, and you're already fucked. So I've already asked a lot of residential school people. I listen to some of my relatives. They tell me stories about their residential experience, how that they were taken advantage of, how they were doing this and doing that, and it's just the same old story. But ain't nobody gonna listen to it. I know ain't nobody gonna listen to you because there's no money in it. That's why I'm trying to put money involved with this old people business. Take care of the old people. As soon as we start taking care of old people, they'll start sharing with us some of the important things that we should know. There's a lot of things that is going to be buried and dead in the ground soon. And our children are not going to be able to just pick those things up because it takes a long time to learn some of these songs. It don't take a long time to learn the song. It takes a long time for it to come to you if you're a song maker. You know, not everybody makes songs, not everyone creates songs. Not everybody can dance, not everybody can sing, not everybody, but everybody can do these things in some shape, form, or fashion. Look, I'm almost crippled now. Hey, baby. Hey. Oh, just on live. What you doing?
I'm hurrying to get home because Nathan's on his way.
Oh, wait. What'd you
So
say?
Nathan's on his way. He should be there any minute.
Oh, okay.
Baby Nathan?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on my way right now.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit, baby.
Okay, bye.
So we're just a product of these residential schools. A lot of our relatives, they're not going to realize these things for another 10, 15 years. At least study them in schools and stuff because first you have to number one, if you're an alcoholic, you have to realize that you have a problem. Let's look those up real quick. Let's look up what the alcoholic steps are because I'm gonna show you how to fix a nation. The whole entire nation. Watch this. The 10 steps to alcohol. Steps to alcoholic. Watch. I'm gonna cure you. Even if you're an alcoholic, listen to this shit. Watch me. How I say this shit. Oh wait, there's 12 steps. First of all, they're wrong. They got 12. I'm telling you, there's only fucking 10. So the first version is, let's see. God damn, I just want to know the goddamn steps, not the fucking whole goddamn process of it. It's a business, y'all. What are the 12 steps to alcoholic? Anonymous to alcoholics. Let's see what those are. I just want the 12 steps, guys. They're giving me all kinds of phone numbers. What are the 12 steps? Okay, here you go. Boom. I'm just going to read a couple of them. You guys can just go ahead and join in, and if you want to fix yourself or all this what's going on in America. First off, hold on. Okay, where are the 12 steps? All right, here you go. First, America, you need to admit that we're powerless over alcohol, that our lives have become unmanageable. First off, you need to understand that. That's what they need to admit. America needs to admit that they used our people as the foundation or their fuel or their fire or their logs to build this beautiful community. Lesson one, you have to admit that we're powerless over that. Now you can add alcohol, you can add ego, you can add humanism, or how our hospitals work, or any of these things. Because I guarantee you, these steps are gonna help you. Number two, you need to come to believe that a power greater than yourself then can restore you to sanity. This means that the stuff that you've done, the stuff that you've, like, all this murdering and all this stealing, all this thieverism, all these mannerisms that you taught us, like to be alcoholic, taught us to rape, taught us to be a philanthropist, teach us how to do churches wrong, steal from churches, steal from, embezzle from governments, embezzle from tribal communities, embezzle. So the first step is to admit that we're powerless. That's the first thing. Now, you need to come to believe that the power greater than yourselves can help resolve that humanity and the millions of years of killing somebody. See, that's from your grandpa and your grandmas. I can't do that for you, because we only build and we only create to live. We give to live. We, and if you step on and say, it's okay, we're tough. So that's number two, to save humanity. Number three in this step is you need to make a decision that will turn your will or your lives over to God, as we understood God. This is a fucked up one. I didn't know if this is even one, because a lot of people, they believe that their God is right. There's only one way to believe in one God. That's what they're trying to teach everyone. They're trying to teach us that. They're trying to teach us that, all that thing. And everyone has a different thing to believe in, whether it's, do you believe in a rock? Do you believe in this rock? Do you believe in this medicine? Ooh, what are these? These are Oxy-10s. These ain't those cheap ones. Or are you mesmerized by that? Powerful. Yeah, okay, let's get back to this, to making America greater again. Um, all right, that's going to be a hard one. You got to make a decision to turn your will over to somebody else. I don't see America doing that, because they're going to only understand their God, their way. Alcoholism. It's crazy. All right, now let's make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Could you imagine your grandfather or your grandmother having to tell stories of how we had to disassemble this little tribal community? Can we sit there and listen to those stories of their grandmas and grandpas telling us about how they took our children, and then they just took them, and this is where we're at. Every single time I see the color orange, it's putting into my mind that how many people they murdered just to have this way of life. So I can talk on here, and I can talk about alcoholism or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. So step 4, and I'm just reading off just the alcoholism steps. Like, people think, oh man, this whole United States, there's a whole problem. No, it's the problem is there's a bunch of alcoholics that run this place. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Okay. All right, number 5 in this whole religion thing. And I'm just reading the 12 steps of alcoholism for you relatives that might be dealing with alcoholism. But really, I'm talking about the alcoholism embedded into every single person here in the United States minds of this. So now on step 5, see, we're going to learn that all these 12 steps, and there's no one there that's going to be there to teach us because they're too busy shoving this under the rug. They're too busy shoving these things that we can't see it and we can't hear it. First we need to learn a song. Then you need to learn how to sing it. Then you need to learn how to use the instrument. Then you can learn how to use your voice. A lot of us forgot to even learn how to sing. I hear people sing and they get quiet like, but we have that instinctually inside of us that we must sing. Our voice sharing out, how we can make it melodic, how we can make it with a rattle, how we can make it with all these things. So we have to admit to some other thing, to ourselves, and also to another relative, the exact natures of the wrongs. I don't see them standing up and saying, listen, our relatives, we sat there and we took all your children, and if they ran, I wouldn't have been a survivor. I know I wouldn't have. Because there's no amount of whatever they would tell me to not stay there. I would leave, and I would keep leaving and keep leaving and keep leaving and keep leaving because I don't understand the concepts of what they're trying to teach me. Now, bringing it all the way into today's culture, I have to understand. I have to be very, very highly educated. I not only have to be highly educated because of this system that's built to give me these pills and not teach me how to use yoga. They haven't taught me how to use different other forms of medicine, sound music. These are all different things, but they're busy teaching us just this one thing. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with these type of. It's just not for us. And the hypocrisy of the what you want and what I want is interesting. Because we want the same thing. We want all our things to go back normal and stuff, but a lot of us don't have a lot of culture. I'm just saying. And if you do, shut the fuck up. Because there's for you, there's 100 million that don't have it. They're the alcoholics. If you switch these things around in your head to believe that they're the alcoholics, because they believe in this system that they've already built, they've already structured, they've already put these lines in. We just have to fill them in with our name and our number. That's all we are, is a name and a number. And if we don't realize these things early on, then when we get into the later parts, we're gonna forget who we are, and then we're just gonna work for and I hate to say these little stores and stuff, but I mean that's where we're stuck at. And there's a lot more of this that is valuable, but it's not valuable yet. These songs aren't valuable yet because they're not gone. They're trying to kill us off. They want to take away the ceremony, they want to take away the songs, they want to take away our voice. And sometimes we have good relatives that are here that speak like this, and you can interrupt this. You could be like, hey, shut the fuck up, stupid fucking Indian. And then it might disrupt it. See, you have to be ready for all these things. And like I said, this is alcoholism. There's steps to fixing how you feel. You're just a dry drunk. America is a dry drunk. Is a system set up prevalent on making more for yourself and making more and more and more and more until you become obese with this, until you become sick in your head to think that you need that. And then you drink more and more and more and eat more and more and more. In times of celebration, yes, drink more, eat more, celebrate. Every single morning, they're teaching us already how to celebrate. We have to eat this, we have to eat that, we have to do this, we have to do all these different things in order for us to be healthy. And we're finding out that a lot of these things they're not. It's just to create a business. And it's interesting that this business is that we are the target. We are the targets. So these are things, step number 6, that might be able to help you not only with your alcoholism but with your Americanism. If you're wondering about your privileges and those type of things that hurt you and hurt your feelings and that make you go get hajai and go somewhere else. All right, you ready? Number 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. So a lot of these defects of character we have, they're gonna be not ours. They're your defects of character. We just have to be godly enough in order to keep that up, to keep that inside of us, to keep these things to what we hold dear, and all these type of things. And this is where we're at, and this is where we're stuck. So we're entirely ready to have God remove all of these defects of character. So we have to admit that we're wrong, and that all these things that we have learned, that we have to learn how to unlearn them and learn a different way of life. Some of us need help. This comes into step number 7. Some of us need to humbly ask something. It might not be a God, because some people, they get angered if they hear a God or a Jesus Christ. Seriously, they'll turn over every single word, and that from then on is zip, nothing. I'm not going to hear nothing. And nor should you, because there's been over how many people, look at the color orange, and how many of our children have been brought into the ground because of what I'm talking about. How many denominations and exponential growth of our people have they destroyed by destroying just one child back? I don't know about you, but I know that a lot of Indians like to have a lot of kids. I recognize that being in the Southwest here, it's a little bit different, where you get to be alone out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not trying to make fun, but a lot of relatives, they have anywhere between 8 and 13 kids out here in the Southwest. And for me, that's a beautiful thing. But now I think about how they've been physically ripped from our homes and sold, or whatever their mentality is. It's just an interesting thing that we have to go through. So some people, they have to humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. So sometimes we have to ask because we can't do it ourselves. And some people, they believe in there's another being or some kind of magical thing that can help you. Whether you believe in it or not, that's up to you. That's your own little choice. That's your own little pigeon thing. You can hold that stick and hold that feather forever. Go hold that shit. I don't believe in that. All right, good. I'm not talking to you. Go sit in the corner and go suck on your thumb. This isn't for you. This is for the alcoholics. This is for the alcoholic society that we've been placed in, and we're gonna constantly be bereaved, not exonerated, but the other word for that. We're gonna be placed into this personally every single day, because we're custom. And our tribal members are becoming customary to living this way in order to you to disrupt me so that I can disrupt you. But this isn't in for the disruption. This is for education. I'm not here to have a conversation. I'm not here to go like this. Hi, here I am. I'm ready to say hello to you. Man, I don't give a fuck about you. That's what this society is teaching me, and I've got to learn these steps, so I might as well say them. So that's a shortcoming. That I don't give a fuck about you. So I'm on step number 7 right now. Step number 7 says, let's see, humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. All right, done. All my lists are done. Step 8. Make a list of all persons we have harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. I fucking fuck that. That's way too fucking many. Could you imagine the amount of lists if America and Canada have to join in and say how many people they murdered and totally wiped off this earth? And then they want to sit there and say, I'm proud to be an American. And fuck that. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Because now we're gonna see where these houses were built. They were built on the backs of our children, unmarked, by the way. We needed these machines that penetrate the ground and stuff, because that's how they were finding it. We haven't even done America yet, so we get ready. This is gonna hurt. All right, so make a list of all persons you have harmed and be willing to make amends to them all. I don't see America doing this as an alcoholic society. I don't see them making a list of them harming us and then how to make amends for them all. Like I said, the children at our borders, they're not being making amends because they have more lineage to this country. If we're talking a country, right? Because if you don't talk about borders, they have more rights to this land than you do. But we're not on that conversation because you haven't even started step 1 of this alcoholism. This is a dry drunk society. I'm reading these steps of how to fix yourself. This is how to fix yourself, you guys. This is how to fix yourself, and you don't even know it. All right, after you understand and you make amends to all these people and you get that list, make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. So what they're saying is it might injure somebody else's feelings, so we better not talk about it. Boy, these English words are cool, ain't they? There's a lot of loopholes in that one. Except when to do so would injure them or others. See, that's going to be on them. They're going to have to go back to that other step back here and humbly ask God to help them because they're hurt. Like, they're only going to keep breaking us and breaking us and breaking us because they haven't fulfilled their godly commitments to themselves. So now step number 10 is continue to take personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admit it. Oh, okay. This is gonna be a hard one to take. This one is gonna be one of the most the ones that they're never gonna be able to make an amends, because they're never gonna be able to accept these things, because if they pass it down, they have to pass down these oh, my grandfather was just so great, my great grandfather was just so great, my great grandmother, looking back on all these histories, there's going to be at least about anywhere between 10 and 15,000 founding fathers that have done this murdering and have been part of it. Because if we look up what an accessory to murder is in the way the law books work today, everyone's going to be held accountable, but no one's going to be held accountable. No one's even going to say any of these things because these are an ongoing process that we're building. This is a society that they keep bringing up. But I'm telling you, these are the things that need to fix it because this is just a dry drunk society. We're living through the through the through the life of someone else, not ours. So this all of these directions are because of my grandfather and my mom and my father. They made the mistake of teaching me how to learn this shit. They made the mistake of teaching me how not to be worried and to know who you are. They made the mistake of sending me to relatives that know how to sing songs and know how to dance and perform their culture and their ceremonies so that I can see and learn a little bit. Oh, that's good. I'm going to learn that. Because once you learn how to ride a bike, it's hard to unlearn it. Once you're afraid of the dark, it's hard to be unafraid after. This is the problem that we're looking for. We're looking for answers. We're looking for these things, but the answers are us. The answers are inside of us. They're inside of our vision, our voice, and what we give out. So, let's see. So, step 11 says, through meditation and prayer and conscious contact with God, as we understand our God, okay, I want to say that so a lot of people don't get all somehow praying for only God's knowledge for us and the power to carry that out. You have to recognize that some of our relatives, they truly believe that we shouldn't be on this earth. Our songs, the way we sing, they should be dead. They should be silenced. They want them gone, and they don't want that. They just want one way to do these things. They want a book to do it. That's why they have these steps. They devised all of these things in order for us or whoever to learn it. I'm just sharing a little bit of that culture. But with my education and my eyes. Because I have a different thought and belief system because of the preacher touching me. And I don't know what he did else to my friends. And that's a concern for me, but that's not a concern that I should be worried about. But it's something that I do feel a guilt about. Like I feel guilty for not saying something. I feel guilty for even talking about any of this right now. But these are the conversations that are going to be very much had. And we're going to have to go through all of these steps. And the last step is having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to other alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. So while they don't have the rights to it, this is just for people that are alcoholics. People that don't know how to stop drinking. Like they drink every fucking day. They can't not drink. Every day, alcohol, 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 alcohol. And they can't stop it. They can't stop. These are those steps that they give them. It's an easy thing to do. But not when we have Budweiser, not when we have The Rock, not when we have all of our celebrities at the end of their dream, they make alcohol for us. And then they sit back at the end of the day and say, have an alcoholic beverage. They're privileged that they have a different mindset because the way that our mindset is that we only have one bottle left. and we just drink all of it. We don't have a stop switch like some of the professional alcoholics. We don't have that stop switch. It's all or none. So I really feel bad for some of our relatives that are on that alcohol. And alcohol isn't even the problem. Alcohol is just a vehicle. That's just a catalyst. You know, that all that other stuff that comes from our way of thinking, and what we were taught, and what songs we learned, and what culture we were informed for. So this is a new culture for me, but I'm learning it very quickly because cancer teaches you very fast. My dad's name is Lawashtoni Hay. His name is he makes money. But it doesn't mean he makes money. It means he makes jewelry from money. He makes jewelry from money because it has no value to him what you give him. So he has to remake something out of it. So when you give us money, we have to make other things out of it. Otherwise, we get that. Lawashtoni hit. I don't have a name. See, this is the privileges that our people even have, that you're even gifted down and handed down names. You should be happy that you have a name. I'm not embarrassed of my name. I'm just proud that I have to carry it because I made it up for myself. I had to sit in there and listen. And every single time that I didn't listen, I learned a new lesson. So now in this day, I've learned all the lessons that I need to learn. It hurts. It hurts to learn this way. I don't suggest it. It's not for everyone. But there is a book. There's a 12-step system book. There's a book of Latter-day Saints. There's a book of, it's on YouTube now. There's 5 million churches. There's 10 million Sundances. There's 500,000 of this, 10 million of this. But it matters if we're doing it or not. Because if we don't do and if we don't pick those things up, then it's not culture. It's not that. And these are things that we, as a society, we don't need to do anything. It's already given to us. I got a whole bottle. I got a whole box. I have a whole bunch of stuff that can help me, relieve me from pain. But it still hurts. So that is the hurt that I'm trying to talk about. That pain is the pain that I'm talking about. The alcoholic, and I'm just using this as a metaphor because I don't give a shit if you're an alcoholic or not. Dead ass serious. 10 shits I've seen. I've seen thousands of them. I've watched my uncles die from them. I've watched my friends die from it. I've watched them in car accidents. I've watched all of it. And they continue to do it. And I know that it's going to be continuing on. You know? That's what I understand about alcohol. I know that it's our choice to have it or not. The trick of not wanting it or not needing it is a motherfucker. And that's cheers to this whole fucking society. I fucking cheers you, Instagram. I cheers you, Facebook. I cheers you, Wi-Fi, because you're spreading messages that only some people they want to listen to. And some things, these things are not meant to be listened to. They're meant to go and do it. You go and do these things. You don't talk about it. But in school, we got plans. Let's make a plan. I got a real good plan. But some of these plans, it doesn't create any future. All my plans, everything that I've always thought about and I dreamed about, has been demolished every single time. All of these thoughts, all of these things, they're all there. Every single time. It doesn't matter what the fuck I want to do. There's going to be some kind of a dead end there. It's going to be a person, it's going to be a place, it's going to be a thing. And that's all done by that motherfucker up there. So I don't have a choice to do this or do that or do that or do this. Because I was given the choice and I already did it. And that's why I'm real happy. But it's real fucking hard because the next generation that's gonna do it, they're not gonna be able to use. They're gonna have to do it for themselves. The new relatives that are performing this, they're gonna learn their own. Our songs, our prayers, our food, it's all alive. And as we infect ourselves with that medicine, then it just becomes us. Just like alcoholics, when they drink too much, they start stinking. They start smelling. You ever been in an alcoholic house? Have you ever walked into someone that alcoholic drinks? And they don't even need to drink. They just smell like it. Because that alcohol, it stays in you for a long time. That's something that they might not have told you. And once that runs out, you better go get yourself another one. And another one. So there's certain things and certain practices that eliminate that choice, eliminate that fear, eliminate those things. And you have to go through it in order to understand it. I'm just teaching a little bit of understanding for some of these things that are complicated but very easily. And it's very, very easily misunderstood. Because our privilege to education is different. Your privilege to books, your privilege to this, your privilege to that doesn't have no understanding of what I'm talking about in terms of singing a song. So until we get and we bring those things closer together and have that union, we're going to keep continuing this fictitious chasing the tail. Patting ourselves on the back for a good job that we did not do. We did our best, some of us, but it could have been better. That's what our lineage is. That's what I'm forcing my children to do. I give two fucks what your children are going to do. Seriously. Because eventually they're going to come up to my child. They're going to try to impregnate my child. They're going to try to fuck over my child. And it's not going to be on purpose. It's just going to be because some demented asshole or some demented something taught their children something. And they're just following in their footsteps. Because this is a disease and we're not addressing it. We just have so much alcohol that we can just sweep it under the rug. We have all the medications to make it just go away. And this is what's beautiful about this culture, is that you can say you can do anything, but it doesn't matter unless somebody's listening, unless somebody's doing it. And it's very hard. But some of our relatives, they make it look real easy. And I sit there and I applaud, and I'm grateful for them. Because if they didn't make it look easy, then I wouldn't have wanted to do it. So they make it look easy, but it's all work. It doesn't matter what you're doing or how you choose or what, when, why, and where. It's all work. It's all getting up and doing what you want to do and choosing. These are our belief systems. This is what we have to look forward to going forward with our children. I love the future that I'm creating for my family. I love the ideas that I'm giving my sons, my daughters. And all of these different type of instances, I'm there to be the uncle. I'm there for them to come and ask for help. And I'm actually in a way that I might not be able to help them in some ways, but I'm able to just say, like that. Don't do it like that. Let me explain to you why you shouldn't want to do it like that. Because I already went through it, son. I've already went through these things. And now that I went through it and it was hard and it was this and it was that, now I can teach how it was easy for me. Now I can make fun of it, of how easy it was for me. But it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't mean that it didn't come with a price. So I'm not done paying for everything and these educations that I need to learn. I'm not concerned. I'm not broken. I'm not all these words that you can put into my, if you were in my place, like feel sorry for yourself, be mean, be mad, be like, God, why did you do this to me? I look at it as a blessing. You know, I get to see, I get to know who cares about me, who loves me. That's some for some people that it means more. Just like jewelry. I like my jewelry. And I'm not trying to make fun of anyone else's jewelry. It's just I like mine. I like the way I make it. I like all these different type of things that I put into it. I can't go and share in all these different type of things. One day, my son will. Or my daughter. Because they're going to need to do these businesses. I don't need to create no business. I already have a business. I'm already doing it. This is it. Business is good. Trust me. There's no shortcomings of people that need a helping hand, a helping word. Somebody that's going through a cancer, somebody that's went through a depression, somebody that's went through, I'm not saying I was alcoholic, but like that type of mentality of alcoholism. Like I can understand and I can relate to a lot of different issues. I was abused, I was this, I was these things. I get to speak on a lot of these things because I've went through them. I've got to witness, I've got to feel the character, I got to know exactly what these formidable opponents or thoughts are. And sometimes they come from us. That's the greatest trick, is to teach us how to do it for them. That's what I'm learning. I don't know what your mama teaching you. I don't know what your mama, papa thought you teaching you. But that's what I'm learning. even if I had to learn it myself, because I understood at a very early age. Because when George and Sally brought me into their camp, I said, and that was my first camp. Then I went to 100 more camps that I don't have enough time or the crayons to explain some of these things. But these are just beginnings. These are just starts. This is a story that I've been telling for a long time. These are hurts, pains, but they're practicalities in my life, and sometimes they help others. How many? It doesn't matter. Because I know that one is enough. We forget that sometimes. Only one is enough. So, if you can help it, don't go out and take two then. Don't grab three. Because just one is enough. That's all I know. At least that's what someone told me one day. Along this 43 years of life. So my medications are starting to kick in. Thanks, you guys. Now I can eat. It's hard to be in a good way. It's hard to think when you're in pain. Sometimes this helps, sometimes this helps, sometimes that helps. So